In this video, I'm talking about the more advanced way of editing an AEJuice preset. So let's go back into our pack manager. So we'll go AEJuice pack manager 4, and let's navigate to an animation that we want to import. So I'm going to go for a kinetic typography preset because this is a little bit more complex. There's more going on in these packs than there are in a transition pack, for example. So in a transition pack, all we really need to do is just change these colors. But when we go into the kinetic typography pack, as you can see, there's fonts, there's animation, there's different colors going on. So I'm going to go into one of these and edit this using the slightly more complex method, but this option does give us more control. So just scroll through to something that you like the look of. So I'm going to go for Big Sale. So title 01, Big Sale, we'll double click that and import that into After Effects. Now, by default, the simple editor will pop up. If you didn't want this to appear and you just wanted to go straight into the more complex way of editing, just press OK on this, and then we'll go into Account, Settings, and then as you can see down in Usability, we've got Show Edit Controls window after import. If we deselect that, press OK. Now, if we import this again, so we'll just press Import. There you go. It's just gone straight into After Effects, and we haven't had this simple editor pop up. So if you're looking for more control, then disable that simple editor and just go straight into editing inside of After Effects. Now, as you can see, this animation has been imported into After Effects, but at the moment it's all contained within this pre-composition. So I'm just going to expand this workflow area up here, and then I'm just going to double click Title 01 Composition. So to edit this, I'm just going to go into the Title 01 pre-composition, and you can see we've got controls and text. So if we select controls, and we go into effect controls, you can see we've got all of the different colors over here. So you can go text color 01, you can change this to a specific color of your choice. So at the moment it's a blue and pink. Let's go for an orange and maybe a green. Or no, we'll keep it as a red. That looks really nice. So orange and a red. Then you can see we've got stretch on/off. So if we turn this off, then it's going to get rid of that stretch, but I do like the look of that stretch, to be fair. Texture on/off, we can turn this on or off. And as you can see, if we keep it off, it just looks a bit flat and a bit boring. But if you keep that on, you can see we've got this nice texture on the text. Then we've got camera position Y, camera position Z, camera rotation, slider. You've got all of these different options here. And of course, you do have the option of adding keyframe animation onto these. So if you wanted to start with this orange and red and go into a blue and red, for example, you just create a brand new keyframe on color by selecting the stopwatch icon. We'll move over to 2 seconds, and then we'll change the color of this to our blue and pink maybe. So we'll lean a bit more into the pinks for that. After Effects is just going to take a moment to render that out. And then as you can see, if I scroll through this, you should see the color of this changing over time. There you go. So we started off with a nice orange and red, and now we've gone into blue and pink. And that's because we've changed the color and added keyframe animation by using this stopwatch icon up here. Now that's the benefit of using the more advanced version of editing an AEJuice plugin. Rather than using that simple editor, you get more control doing that yourself inside of After Effects. But of course, this does require some level of confidence inside of After Effects. So if you're a beginner, I'd recommend staying with the simple editor, but if you're a little bit more experienced in After Effects, then it is always worth jumping into all of these pre-comps and adjusting the look of all of this yourself because you gain more control. Now, as you can see, we've changed the color of this text over time, but it's still saying Big Sale. What if we wanted to change this into something else? Well, we just go into the text 01 pre-comp, and as you can see, we get this really long pre-composition saying Big Sale. So we can just change this to, let's go AEJuice, for example. Now, when we go back to the title 01 pre-comp, that's changed. And when we go back to our main composition, you can see we've got this really cool animation now taking place. So we've changed the color and animated that over time. And we've also changed the word from Big Sale to AEJuice. And there you go. You can see we've got this really cool color changing animation. We've got the preset doing its magic. And then we've changed the text from Big Sale to AEJuice. And this looks really cool. Of course, though, some compositions and some presets might be a little bit more complex than this one. So I'm just going to get rid of this. Just going to start a new composition. And then we'll go back into AEJuice. And then let's search for something a little bit more complex. So let's go into products. And we'll go into the Cyberpunk HUD because this feels a bit more complex. So you can see you've got some glitches, distortions down here. You've got some really cool text. And there we go. Let's go for one of these. So let's go for this 2073. So we'll double click that, and that's just going to download and import into After Effects. Now we're just going to close down AEJuice. And as you can see, we've got this really cool animation now imported into After Effects. So if we just go into this pre-comp, so we just double click text animation 12, you can see this is looking a little bit more complicated. And you've got this option here, hides all layers for which the shy switch is set. So if we deselect that, you can see there's some more layers which have now appeared. So before we selected that option, we only had controls, time control, and text 12. Now we've got text pre-comp, distortion map, and text 12 now appeared. So let's go through all of these individually. So we've got the controls on the very top. So you can see we've got glitch, color, hue, which we can adjust. So as you can see, that's just going to change the hue of this animation. So let's try and go for that nice orange tone again. So we'll go orange, text color 01. We can keep as this nice white. We've got text color 2, which is over here. We'll lean this towards orange again, somewhere around here. Then you've got text color 3, text color 4, stroke color. So the stroke is the outline. Then you've got text stroke size. So you can increase the slider to increase the size of the stroke. That is ridiculously huge though. So let's pull this down to a more sensible number of around 1 or 2. There you go. So we've got 2 on that. Then you've got all of these other settings, which you can just go through and adjust on your own. Then we've got the time control underneath. So you've got in and out points here. So you can just drag these in and out like this. So essentially, if we drag this in point over to the right, then nothing is going to happen until around here when this starts to come in. Then we'll go down to text pre-comp 12, and you can see we've got a displacement map and some glow effects on this, and then a color balance HLS. So you can adjust all of these settings if you like. So displacement map, you've got your glow, so you can actually change the color of your glow as well if you wanted to here. Then you can actually go down to distortion map. You can see there's nothing happening here, but if we go into that pre-comp, you'll see more. And then we've got text 12 pre-comp. So let's go into text pre-comp 12. And as you can see, this is our original text. Then you've got text 12 in here. So we'll go into text 12, and you can see we've got all of our text layers. So we've got text 01, which is this writing here. You've got text 02, which is the large 2073. So if you wanted to change that to 2090, for example, then just do that. Text 03 is this subtitle. So AEJuice, like this. And then of course you can change this writing as well if you wanted to. So the future, there we go. And of course you can always change these fonts to completely suit your style. Let's put this into this font. There we go. That looks cool. Then we can go back to our text pre-comp, and you can see that should have been adjusted. So this is coming in. That's what that looks like. We'll go back to text animation 12, and you can see this is starting to shape up to be really nice. Then you've got your distortion map, so we'll go into that. And this is this layer here. So you've just got some fractal noise and then a fast box blur on this. So you can change the intensity of this if you wanted. So you can just pull down the contrast. You can adjust the brightness of this. It's completely up to you. But just go through all of these different settings, adjust everything to how you want this to look. And then when we go back to our main comp, all of your changes should have been applied over here. Now, like I've mentioned before, using the simple editor straight inside of the AEJuice Pack Manager is really quick and really simple, but you are limited to what you can and can't do. If you're new to After Effects, then I would recommend just going for the simple editor. But if you do have Adobe After Effects experience, then I would recommend just importing that straight into After Effects and then jumping through all of these pre-comps and just adjusting all of these settings individually to get the specific look that you're looking for. So there you go. There's many different benefits to using the simple editor, and there's many different benefits to using the advanced way of editing an AEJuice preset inside of Adobe After Effects. So whether you're going for the simple editor or the advanced editor, this is how you would follow that process inside of Adobe After Effects.